build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. Yeah, it's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
Hey, Grand Rising to you billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street, the Money and Power Show, as we are actually here on Welcome to Wall Street Wednesday. So we're going to do a little feature on what's going on in the markets today. And then also we'll get into, we got a little power pack show today. I mean, money and power is as we discuss economics and politics, as we learn more about what's going on in the world as it relates to money and power, cash rules, and cash flow and cash rules. That's what this show is all about. So if you come here to learn about money, you come here to learn about power. Well, money and the power, it is for you. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Grand Rising to you. And you can begin your study by picking up this book here. It's a $25 book to help change the way you think about money and help you to see there are some Black folk who actually have acquired a whole bunch of it and use it to make a difference as well. By simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. The book is available in English and in French for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, and you can pick up your copy today. You'll find that link in the description above or below in the comments. You'll find the description above or below in the description. Today's episode will be brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and then also Black art-inspired gifts. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, you find a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can add and a whole bunch of stuff that you can redirect your dollars to, especially in the personal care section. Everybody washes their clothes or washes their body. They use lotion and stuff like that. Well, you can come here and buy Black if you decide to do that. CBD products. Again, Black Mama. That's a Black-owned business, Black Mama business. You can check out some CBD products there. And then also got your home decor, which is coming from Black artists and represents our culture. So you can, there are some things that you can switch to that you might be spending at other institutions that you can actually buy Black here. And so here's the deal, guys. Not only do we have that, but we're super excited about our that's got to be changed. Our latest edition, our latest category, which will be Black-owned products or Black-owned business partners. So what we've done, we said, hey, we're going to use our little influence to promote other Black-owned businesses on our site. And I recommend a lot of people do this because this is called group marketing. So when people come here, they might see other Black-owned businesses they want to do business with. And that way we can help to continue to promote the movement of Shop Black, Buy Black. Well, today's feature for our Black-owned business is going to be our third position here, which is Shahidville. So Brother Shahid is actually working on a health store where you can pick up some pretty cool stuff. We'll take a look at his website here. Your health is your wealth. A strong immune system is your best defense. You can find all types of cool stuff, man. I think I see sea moss and elderberry and all that good stuff as well. Let's pop up his site right up here so you guys can take a look. So of course you can come over to ERGJ Black Bazaar. Just click on the Black-owned business partners tab, and then you'll find right here some other Black businesses that you can find some immune system support, some weight loss information, some more CBD products, hand sanitizer, some personal care, skincare products. He's got some hand sanitizer here, some masks, and all that good stuff as well. So you can actually support a Black-owned business, just like he even got a little marketing, what's this network marketing professional, little training or something like that as well. Oh, new little shirt, entrepreneur shirt as well. So you can actually do business and buy Black right through Black Bazaar with other Black-owned businesses, and that would be here at Shahidville. So we want to shout out our brother Shahid for what he's doing with his store, and then also you can check out the link there, which you can also find at the Black Bazaar. Again, I'll show you how to get to that. You just simply come over to Black Bazaar and you click on Black-owned businesses, Black-owned business partners, and then you'll find the link, the site here, and then you'll find a link right here in the description. Just click on that, and I'll take you over to his site where you can actually do business at Shahidville as well. And so we got group, everybody putting also group economics, because that's exactly what it is. It's group economics. It's like, hey, we got the Buy Black movement. We want to buy from each other. But how about businesses? How about we as businesses begin to promote other businesses so that more people can know about those businesses that are connected to us? Because here's the deal: if someone likes doing business with my business, then they're going to apt to understand that if I'm promoting another business through my business, that business must also do good business as well. I mean, why would I promote a business that doesn't do good business? That is going to make it look bad on my business. And this is how we can do it, guys. I mean, I see all the directories and all this stuff that has not worked, by the way. But keep doing what y'all doing to make a difference. But I believe this is the route that you can go. Because if you can get people to go to your website, you get them to see other things that's on your website, and some of those other things could be other Black-owned businesses that you're connected to. Man, that's a win-win for everybody if we're serious about this Buy Black thing. Let's find out who's here today, man, as we have beginning our show this morning. Money and power, money and the power, money and the power. Hit the like, share button, share button if you care. This is free financial education, right? Free financial education for all those who want to come to class and learn. We do have Mr. Keela Otucker is in the house. Grand rising to you, Queen King Thomas Freeman out of Louisville, Kentucky. That's right, man. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Home of Muhammad Ali. Queen Vivian is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Queen Phyllis has joined us as well. Good morning to you. Queen Jennifer is in the house. Happy Wednesday, hump day. King Sydney is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us today. Queen Alicia has joined us here as well, here on the New Black Wall Street, Money and Power Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Wall Street, right? True, a strong immune system. That's right, man. Group economics. And we can do this, guys. We can do this. We've done it before. We can do it again. We can do it right now. So I think I want to start today because we're gonna get into some stuff today. I'll try my best to finish up with our fifth Q on the richest man in Babylon. But I'm going to start by finishing up where we were left off at 2 days ago, which is the Black History Reader. This is going to be our political piece. We know that Monday we had a brother on from that was running for office, and Tuesday you had election day, which was yesterday. And but I want to finish where we were at with Dr. Claude Anderson, and he was talking about gun control laws and stuff like that, I believe, where we left off. We didn't finish that piece, so I want to finish that here today. Black History Reader, written by Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson is a great mind, a brother that cares enough to write literature, to leave a legacy for us to find some good stuff in what he writes. And he's written a book called The Black History Reader, which is 101 questions that you never thought to ask. And this book is really political, breaks down a lot of things that have transpired over time that you and I may not necessarily be aware of because it's not something that we typically do study. So this question here is our part two. When he asked the question, man, what is the connection between blacks, gun control, and United States Constitution's Second Amendment rights? What's the connection between blacks, gun control, and the Constitution's Second Amendment rights? And this is the last part of his last question in part 4 of the book. So we'll catch up where we left off at, where we're talking about how the right to bear arms or weapons was institutionalized into the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution and other laws. The laws regulated even carrying of clubs and knives as well as firearms. Slaves, which were blacks at that time, could not even raise their hands to strike a white person or defend themselves. Native Indians were exempt from most of these weapon regulations because of the colonial powers needed their help in maintaining slavery and did not have control over them. Moreover, the colonies feared slave revolts more than Indian attacks because slaves had access to slave owners' homes and families. So let's continue where we left off at here. So according to the Congressional Globe, 39th Congress, first session, 1065, 1090 through 91, on the eve of the Civil War in 1860, some members of Congress criticized white Southerners for denying all blacks the right to keep and bear arms. Congressional debate changed nothing because the North was not seriously committed to black people. When the Civil War did break out, slavery was not the primary issue, and as is usually taught in history books. The Civil War broke out not over slavery, but over the concentration of slave-based wealth, political power, and industrial power in the South. Ending slavery was a secondary issue. Both the North and the Southern Confederacy had serious concerns about arming blacks. The South feared blacks would use the weapons against them. When the Civil War ended, the Northern states abandoned all pretense of interest in the newly freed slaves. Northern states sought white European immigrants to migrate in and aid the North in rebuilding its businesses and a management class. The North did not want the newly freed black slaves to come in their direction, so the Northern states cut a deal with the old Southern Confederate states. The North gave the former Southern Confederate states the right to put black ex-slaves into semi-slavery by using them and treating them in any manner whites chose. The North turned their heads when the South enacted the Black Codes and labor peonage. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I think I was taught that the Civil War was about slavery. I think that's what I was taught. Lord Jesus. The Black Codes were fashioned around the language of the 13th Amendment, which said that slavery and involuntary servitude were abolished, except as punishment for crime whereof the party has been duly convicted. The Black Codes proceeded to make nearly every ordinary life function a crime and kept blacks under control and in a subservient socio-economic condition, very much like that of slavery, for another 100 years. White Southerners were faced with the fact that blacks were still the dominant population in the South and would surely resist re-enslavement. So the Southern leadership retained the provisions of the United States Constitution's Second Amendment, which mandated white militias required every white man to carry a gun. Just like during slavery, Southern states permitted extra-legal terrorist organizations such as the Ku Klux Klan and Knights of the White Camellia to monitor and control blacks. The Black Codes continued to deny black people the right to bear arms to protect their homes, families, property, and communities, even after slavery ended. During the days of the Jim Crow segregation, disarming blacks gave whites a monopoly ownership of weapons. This set the stage for white authority and terrorist organizations to ravage blacks at will. Today, after 100 years of Jim Crow semi-slavery in the South and racial separation, a sobering reality of our race-based society is that the white majority society entered the 21st century armed to the teeth. In June 2013, the Pew Research Center estimated that there were over 300 million guns in the United States, which was one firearm for every man, woman, and child. Whites owned over 98% of all the firearms. It is puzzling that the last 5 presidents of the United States, along with gun control advocates, continuously conducted campaigns in urban cities admonishing black citizens to turn in their guns. Blacks own less than 0.5% of the nation's guns. Few, if any, blacks are owners of gun shops, gun ranges, or firearm manufacturing companies. If the concern was to reduce the number of available guns, would it not make more sense to conduct turn-in-your-weapon campaigns in suburbs and rural communities in which whites are the majority owners and producers of firearms? Pineapples. Wouldn't that make more sense? All right, man. Black History Reader by Dr. Claude Anderson. Again, this is a brother who wrote Powernomics. He wrote Black Labor, White Wealth, and he's making some good points here in his book, A Black History Reader, 101 Questions That You Never Thought to Ask. That's our Power Piece, guys, our political piece on the Money and Power Show. And let's see what you guys are talking about here, man. Pineapples, Thomas Friedman. That's some Pineapples moment. Grand Rising to Lovey Hobbs is in the house. And so, yeah, fantastic, man. Again, kudos to Dr. Claude Anderson. We are going to now go to, we'll take a look at the market real quick. Yeah, we'll take a look at some markets here. And then I think I got time. Yeah, we'll have time here to look at cryptocurrency stocks and then finish up with the fifth cure to a lean purse. Let's see if I can pull it up for you. What's going on, Vivian Reed? Pineapple moments. Yeah, some real pineapples going on there. This is news that you can use, guys. We're going to take a look at the CNN real quick. CNN Money, which is where they have a lot of business information. See if we can find it and see if I can find anything. See if we can find anything here that may be of use to us. I find this article interesting. Groceries were hard to find for millions. Now it's getting even worse. So I guess there's some shortages coming on. Hong Kong has one real viral for business thinking about leaving. Any rates, U.S. stock future slump, any rate. Let's see here. You know, when I read stuff, man, I just be like, it's like a whole bunch of fear. And that makes sense because there's a whole bunch of greed in the market, a whole bunch of fear in the news. Oh, did you guys? There was the latest IPO, Vroom, that popped up. It's a used car seller. They popped out yesterday. CrossFit CEO resigns after controversial statements about George Floyd. Okay, nothing there, nothing to see there. AMC plans to reopen in theaters in July. I wonder what they're going to do. Selling sand. I don't see anything here. College life never be the same. Risky bet with unsold inventory. Have you guys seen meat prices spike? Have you seen the price of meat be expensive at the market? That's interesting. I don't see anything here worth me talking about. Let's go on over to the markets itself. I thought I might see something in business. But anyway, so we have yesterday, guys, was there a mixed bag. The Dow Jones was down 1% yesterday. I think Dow futures is down a little bit today, this morning, so we may see the day start out in the red. But when I was watching the market yesterday, I found it was interesting. It dropped. It dropped maybe 2% overall, but then it started to recover midday, and then it kind of dropped towards the end of the day. So I think there's still some strength in the market as far as appreciation is concerned. I think that was a day of correction, a day actually to solidify more of your position if you're in something that you really, really believe in and all that stuff. We'll talk about some of that stuff tonight during our Welcome to Wall Street Wednesday presentation to BBC. The NASDAQ was up, is actually up, which is where all your technology stocks are. So hopefully as you fill out your portfolio, you have a balance where you do have some technology, which is a strength right now as it relates to your diversifying your portfolio. S&P 500 was down 25 points yesterday, only 0.78%. These are not huge swings. 1% is pretty large as far as a move in a day, but still relatively, still showing strengths of upward movement, because we don't really, we would see something like 3% down, which would be big. 4% down would be big. 1% down is not really, it gave me an opportunity to add to my portfolio for a lesser cost. Now, here's some things that we did see. Right. The uptrend for some companies was very minor. As we look at Newmont Corporation, which is a gold mining type of company, Public Stores, Tiffany & Company up 2%. But there were some big swings on the downside. We have Norwegian, cruise lines down 10%. That was a great opportunity to add to a position. Nordstrom's down 9%. Simon Property Group. These are two retail. One is a retail brand, another one is a retail real estate, or commercial real estate business, and they popped on Monday, and then they dropped right back down on Tuesday. So that's something that we could may look at just briefly, maybe tonight. Now, what I find interesting is the sector performance, because I don't really know the time frame, but just let's say recently. Look at this energy minerals, which is what now. Guess what? Guess what's in energy minerals? For it to be the top of the food chain as far as whatever this time frame is for that they're using. I don't know if it's 3 months or if it's the whole year. But energy minerals up 34.8%. And I'm pretty sure you guys can remember, if we go back in time, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, energy minerals was down at the bottom. Energy minerals was down like negative. It was the worst performing sector. Probably when we got to like March and April, but now it's the best performing sector. I think about that for a second. You guys remember, those that's been following the show, at one point in time, 2-3 months ago, whatever it was, when we were looking at this, energy minerals was the worst performing sector. That's where all the oil companies are, all the energy companies, stuff like that. Now, and I don't know the time frame, I'm gonna say 3 months probably. It's the best performing sector. And so really understanding that, you know what, if you find great quality companies, again, that are beaten down because of a sector or industry, when that sector recovers, guess what happens? What's causing the sector to recover? All those businesses that are represented in that sector. I find that pretty interesting. It's the best performing sector now. 3 months ago, it was the worst performing sector. 3 months ago, it was the worst. Now it's the best. Buy low, sell high. Pretty simple stuff that we can learn to apply in a lot of different areas of our life. Now, oil itself, if you guys remember as well, 3 months ago, we might take a look at this today. No, I don't want to look at it. I want to look at it this way. Let me look at it this way. Let me look at it this way. Let's just do 5 years. Okay, good. I'll come back to that in just a second. We'll look at oil in just a second. But, 3 months ago or whatever, it was down. It was negative at one point. Now it's back to $38 per barrel. $38 a barrel. Wow. The NASDAQ, as far as the year is concerned, the Dow Jones is underperformed. It's down 4% for the year. S&P 500 is down about flat. The NASDAQ, which are all your technology companies, all your Facebooks, your Amazons, your Netflix, your Googles, all that stuff is in NASDAQ. It's up 11%. That kind of makes sense as well, because with the pandemic that took place, and also with the protests that are taking place, many businesses had to switch to use technology to keep moving business forward. And so all of the technology companies that play a part in you being able to work from home, that play a part in communication, that play a part in in travel or logistics and things like that. These companies became even more valuable when during the pandemic times, and then also still during the protesting time. Right? Even voting has become, using technology. So we're in a technological or technology age or digital age. And so that makes sense. That's why you see that particular sector or that particular index up for the year when the other two are down. We see over here, we see this Fear and Greed Index that now we're into greed. A lot of money has been poured back into the market, prior to the reopening and expecting the reopen to come. And, a month ago was at 44. Now we're at 66, man, getting over to extreme greed, driving prices up and up and up and up. And hopefully you've been in some positions where you were able to get it at, you were to get whatever you invested in at a lower price. And you're just riding the wave up with the money that's coming in right behind you. Let me ask you this question for those that understand what I just said. How does it feel? Because you took a stand, because you believed in something particular as it relates to whatever companies you might have invested in, how does it feel to actually be in the front of the bus where all of the other investors are coming behind you, even big money is coming behind you and pushing your position up higher, giving you a greater return or a greater appreciation of unrealized gain before as it relates to your stance, because you still believed in the value of a particular company, although the price was low or lower than the value of the company. And you just said, well, hey, let me get this thing while it's 30% off. Let me get it while it's 40% off. I mean, surely there's nothing that's really changed about the company itself. Surely they still provide value. They bring products and services to the community in which I live. Surely they still do that. So what has really changed about the fundamentals of this particular company, other than they might sell a little bit less stuff this quarter, right? And that's important to also understand as well. Remember, how many guys remember? Oh God, this is correct. How many guys remember how many guys can go back in your mind when this thing happened, when it started back in March, right? And I want to talk about this for a second. Corona, right? The pandemic, right? It kind of hit America in like March, 1st of March. And you had all these scientists and all of these people who got on TV and they start talking about, this pandemic, could last through the end of the year, and this pandemic is, it's like they was putting all this fear out, right? A year or 6 months, a year, and I'm like, and I was saying to myself, right, where do you get this data from? How are you projecting 6, 7, 8, 10 months of gloom and doom when we see something like China, who only dealt with it for 3 months, right? And I'm saying to myself, where are these people coming from, and what data are they using when we have an example in China who went through it, got through it in 3 months, they're back open in 3 months? Why wouldn't the United States be the same? We're very similar as far as big powers in the world. We're similar as it relates to our medical staff and all that stuff as well. I was like, why are we comparing? And remember, I said this. Why are we comparing to Italy when we should be comparing our results to China? And people got on me. I was like, that just don't make no sense to me. Oh, because they bought into what the media was telling them versus thinking for themselves. So I said, man, 3 months at tops, right? I was predicting, Easter or whatever, but 3 months at top. So now, fast forward, March 1st or 2nd to June 1st or 2nd. That's 3 months. You fast forward, many people, I don't know, still whatever, like, ain't wearing no mask. Social distancing still is a thing, kind of, sort of. They're still doing some testing. Now they try to bring it back with the whole protest, and that might bring the pandemic. They might cause the pandemic to spread, but we're not seeing that in the numbers, right? You guys remember that? And I'm saying, and I was just like, this ain't making no sense. Where's the data to back this up? So it told me that, again, that because we don't own and control the media, they can put whoever they want in front of you, Dr. Fauci or Fauci or whoever that is. They can put all these people in front of you, but they don't necessarily have to quantify their opinion or their forecast or whatever it is that they're using, because it wasn't making no sense to me. But but because many people have no idea of doing their own research, their own thinking, it's just like, I'm gonna take what's said to me by the media that I don't control, and we're gonna go with that. Now we get into a space where WHO has been, the president is saying WHO or the World Health Organization, he don't trust them. They don't go start defunding that. Now all of a sudden, look at this. What do you see on the media now? You hardly see anything on the media as it relates to really coronavirus. You really don't see a whole lot, as much as they were pumping it up, 3 months ago. Now that the media has changed their focus, the world has changed their focus. Now, of course, some of that focus came by way of a video of a black man being manslaughtered and slaughtered by a white cop. But nonetheless, the media attention from the media, or the media coverage, is what moves the masses in whatever direction the media wants to move them to. And the question has got to be, in my opinion, who is directing the media? Who's saying, okay, this is what you cover now, this is what you do? Because it's not, I'm sorry, it's not that, okay, it's not just like coincidence or happenstance. I don't believe that, because a lot of stuff that we see in the world happens all the time. It's just a matter of when we choose to focus on it. If we just be honest, when the cameras get on it and we choose to focus on it, that's when the world or the society that we live in begins to pay attention to it. But it's not like it doesn't happen all the time. It's just that we see it when it's shown to us. We see it when it's shown to us. So everybody going back to work, right? We have some openings going on with schools are talking about, football is coming back. Basketball, a short season or whatever they're going to do with basketball. People that are in education, the teachers are going back, planning for the school year. See, things are getting back. Now, I was going to take a look at oil, right? Let me take a look at oil. I want to talk about that for a second. So oil, we see here, it was at $60.94 at the end of the year, 2019, low point of $46. So before the pandemic, $44.36 was this was February 2020, right? So before the pandemic, then in March it dropped down to $20.34. April's down to $18.84. You know, and as I said, it was just hugely unlikely that, look at this, we go back 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. 30 years is the last time, back in 1998, that oil was at under $20 a barrel. Now, we understand that there was one day or two here in March and April that oil dropped down below $10. It was in negative for a second. But look, the history tells us that it's highly unlikely for oil to be that cheap, which also gives an indication that, well, hey, if it's highly unlikely for it to be that cheap, then we can buy into oil when it is that cheap, understanding that it's very unlikely that it'll stay that cheap. And, you know, and look where it's going back. It's going right back to where it was before the pandemic, which I would predict is probably about $45 a barrel, maybe $50 a barrel, because that's kind of where it was resting at before the pandemic. Now, this is the same thing that we can do for many industries. Many industries, they had a big spike down as it relates to their price or the price of their stock or the valuation. And many of these industries are just going to go right back to where they were before the pandemic, which is why it makes it really, really easy for those that understand what I'm saying. It makes it really easy to get rich during this time. Now, I will say this also, that although it's easy, I think it's considerably easy right now. I would say it's easy to actually grow or build a portfolio right now. But that does not necessarily make a good or great investor. It just makes someone to say, hey, I'm going to do something now while it's easy. But how many guys know that what's easy also can get a little difficult? Because at some point you got to say, you know, you'll learn that, okay, now that I'm in it, what do I do? When do I do it? Okay, what's my strategy behind this thing? You know, am I in it for life or I'm in it for a little while? We'll talk about that tonight, because we did do a little little thing. You know what I'm talking about tonight? I'm gonna talk about WPP again. I'm gonna talk about WPP again tonight. I might even talk about Hertz tonight. I don't know what I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about a few things tonight during our presentation, because again, it's all about your strategy, right? We can see the rise of things, but ask yourself, is this something that I'm in for the long term? Is it something I was just in to get these quick returns? What is your stance as you look at your entire portfolio? Some stuff ain't gonna stay there forever. Some stuff may. And if it ain't gonna stay there forever, you gotta say, okay, well, when do I get out? You know what I mean? What's my exit strategy so that I can capture my profit? So much to talk about as it relates to this game of money. You know, that it's absolutely phenomenal. All right, now cryptocurrency. Real quick, here's the cryptocurrency market. Go into this real quick so you guys can see this. Now, interesting thing here as well is that as the stock market recovers, cryptocurrency has kind of flattened. And what I mean by that is kind of moving sideways. And so there was money that left the market, start funneling into cryptocurrency while the market was down. And then now the market's kind of recovering, or the stock market's kind of recovering. Cryptocurrency is kind of being flat. Not that it's going down, not that it's going up, but it's kind of just coasting. And it looks like we're waiting to see what's the next big move for the market. And it makes sense too, because if I had the choice right now, as it relates to building my portfolio, building wealth, I would be in the stock market, because that's an easy place to win. And you know, that's where I would be right now. That's where I would move or shift into right now, would be the stock market, because that was like low hanging fruit. That was easy for plenty of people to see, and many of those that took advantage are actually reaping the benefits. So cryptocurrency, man, this is the Coin Market Cap giving us a quick review of what's going on in the digital currency space, cryptocurrency. There are over 5,500 cryptocurrencies in the world that have been designed. There are over 22,000 markets where you can buy or sell or exchange cryptocurrency. There's currently $277 billion, almost 277 billion dollars in this market, for which Bitcoin, which is the big behemoth, the number one coin, is represents 65% of that market. So out of the 277 billion, there's over 170 billion or almost 171 billion dollars represented in Bitcoin between people buying and selling this Bitcoin and their supply. So this is a formidable market that some are learning to trade on. Some are acquiring assets to build up over time. This is a formidable market, just like the stock market is a formidable market, just like real estate is a formidable market. And you can make money in all these different places. You can build wealth in all these different markets. What I tell people is it's best that you choose whichever one that you want to go with and you master that. So I chose the stock market. I started mastering the stock market. Then I moved into, okay, well, I still don't really want to be out there, looking for properties and all this stuff. So I went with Bitcoin, something else I can do from my phone, something else I can do from home. Nothing against real estate. That's a great market as well. But you just simply have to choose what you're going to be in, what you're going to participate in, and choose what you're going to study and master. You can make money in all these different places, plus more, as it relates to investing. Okay? So that's a quick recap of what's going on. I did see as well, I believe it's over Yahoo. Yeah, Yahoo. That I saw some negative. You come over to Yahoo too, guys. I come over to the finance section. Very few people come here. And when I looked earlier, the futures were down. Now they're back up. I mean, they're basically about flat, but the NASDAQ is up pretty big. So we actually, yesterday, the market was down. And I believe maybe it was down a little bit because of the election day. People were voting, having to take a step away, maybe from trading. Some stuff like that could have played a part in it. We have a Fed meeting coming up as well. But it looks like they back at it. Okay, it looks like they back at it. So this could be another good day in the market. It's Wednesday. I think people are feeling pretty good. Obviously, there's greed in the market right now. People, are pushing money into the market, and it's just doing what it does. So we'll talk tonight on Welcome to Wall Street Wednesday. We'll have a discussion. I think I'll look at WPP again. I'll talk about strategy. We're going to talk about our investment club. We'll talk about that tonight as well. And that's for BBC members. So if you aren't a BBC member, you just won't get that training, that lesson, that teaching tonight. That is exclusive to the BBC. And you can choose to join at any point in time you like. Just simply go to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, and choose to become a member if you like to learn how to earn. Now, you know what? Dang, today is Wednesday. My God. Okay, so again, I did it again. I'm not prepared. Today is Wednesday. That means the 52-week savings challenge. I keep forgetting. I don't know. Wednesday be creeping up. Anyway, well, I'm gonna do this again off camera, but it's 52 weeks, which means it's week 24. So for those that's been following along on the 52-week savings challenge, that means you put $24 into your you put $24 into your savings account, and I'll just probably do it tomorrow for you guys. But I'm actually gonna put 25 because I probably don't have 4 ones, and that would be $24 saved. And if we do that, or when we do that, dang, where's my damn wallet at? 1 second, guys. I knew I was forgetting something. If we do that, guys, that's going to put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's going to put us at $300 saved. $300 saved if you have been just following along. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. That's going to put you at $300 that you have saved. Now, $300, that is a magical number. Most of your issues that might happen that come up in life, all of your small little emergencies, they're typically under $300. You know, the flat tire, the brakes, other little stuff that comes up, might get a ticket here and there. I don't know. It's $300 to $500 takes care of most of your small little inconveniences, things that you need to pay for that you don't want to pay for. Might be your registration, things that you do as far as if you have a business, you have to pay some business renewals, stuff like that, right? $300 is a good number for you to get to for your savings. If you're just into a point where you're rebuilding your savings, $300 is a good number. Of course, $500 is a better number, but getting to $300, if you today have been following along with this plan and you're now at $300 in your savings account, I just want you to give yourself a clap. I just want you to celebrate and congratulate yourself for being disciplined enough, right, to just go through the process week after week, week after week, week after week, establishing a habit where you're going to pay yourself first. And now, maybe for the first time in a long time, you have $300 in your savings account, $300 that you can look at and feel good about. I don't want to skip over the small stuff. For some, that's nothing. And for some, it's like $300. For some, $300 ain't nothing. But for others, $300 is a whole lot. For others, it's not a small thing. For others, it's a big accomplishment because you may haven't seen $300 in your savings account in a long time. And I know how it feels. I know where I was when I didn't have that. And I was like, Lord, it just felt like life was suffocating. But you got $300 that you saved up. You just said, you know what? I'm going to go with this plan week after week, week after week, week after week. And I got $300 in my savings account now. Bravo. Good job. Well done. And you ain't got to stop here. You don't have to stop here. Now you've established a habit. It's been 24 weeks. Right? Why stop now? Keep it going. Right? Keep it going. Well done. So, I just moved my freaking wallet. Okay, I'm going to do it off camera. So, anyway, save it, time to save train, guys. Let's keep it going. Week 24. I will complete it off camera and we'll get to that thing. But that leads us, we might as well get right into the richest man in Babylon because that is a part of fixing the money problem, learning how to save. And we're into the section 7 cures for a lean purse. And we are on the 5th cure. The 5th cure. Now, the first cure that Arcad, the richest man of Babylon, shared with us was to pay yourself first, as we just said, to discipline yourself. The second cure was to control your expenses or maintain some self-control. You control yourself, you can control your money. The third cure was to learn how to multiply your money, to make your money grow, to make your money work harder for you than you work for it. That was the third cure to fixing the money problem. The fourth cure was to make sure that you protected your wealth that you built from loss, to consult with wise men, to make sure that you get advice from those. You let the advice of others protect your money. Right, because maybe you haven't learned all that stuff. Let their wisdom protect your money from unsafe investments. And the 5th cure that he's sharing with us was to make of your dwelling a profitable investment. Get you a home. Don't just rent. Own the home. Own the land if you can. Right, for you to be able to, make food in the back and reduce your expenses that way, so that you can bring some safety or some security to your household, your wife, or your family. Now let's pick up where we left off at, as we were into the 5th cure of making your dwelling place a profitable investment. So he said, therefore, I do recommend that every man own the roof that shelters him and his, that you own your own home. Nor is it beyond the ability of any well-intentioned man to own his home. Have not our great king so widely extended the walls of Babylon that within them much land is now unused and may be purchased at sums most reasonable? It doesn't matter if it's Babylon or if it's Atlanta, no matter. It says, so I say to you, my students, remember they're in the temple of learning. Arcad is teaching them about how to get wealthy. I say to you that money lenders gladly consider the desires of men who seek homes and land for their families. Readily, you may borrow to pay the brickmaker and the builder for such commendable purposes, if you can show a reasonable portion of the necessary sum which you have provided for the purpose. In other words, he's talking about a down payment. He's talking about putting some money down to have your house made. Then when the house is built, you can pay the money lender with the same regularity as you did the landlord, right? You pay you pay your mortgage like you paid your rent, because each payment will reduce your debt to the money lender. A few years will satisfy the loan. So he's saying, hey, you've been paying rent or whatever to live. Hey, the same way that you've been paying rent, pay a mortgage. And then in a few years, you'll have your mortgage paid off and you will own that property. Then your heart will be glad, because you will own your own right, in your own right, a valuable property. And your only cost will be the taxes or the property taxes. You will. I mean, let me ask this, because I don't really know anyone. Maybe my dad. I don't even know. I gotta ask my dad. But how many guys know someone, or maybe it was your parents or grandparents, who own their home outright, other than the taxes? Obviously, you gotta keep paying taxes. But that big, $1,500, $1,000 bill, they no longer have to pay. They cleared out their debt. And if you do know someone, what a relief. And how does that feel to know that you own your own home? Now, I want to make sure we're clear, because some people misunderstand this. They think that if I'm paying for my mortgage, I own my home. That's not true, right? Right? You live in the home, but you don't own it until you pay off that mortgage, right? But it feels good to say I own my own home because I got a mortgage. No, you're on your way to owning your own home. The same way that if I have a car and I'm paying for the loan on the car, I don't own the loan. The title is not my name until I pay the car off. And then the people who own the car, who loan me the money and have given me the money and my car's collateral, they then sign the deed or the title over to me, because now I own the home. When you own something, you got the title. I'm sorry to hurt your beliefs this morning, but when you own it, you got the title. You got the deed. When you own it, you got the deed. Okay? You may be working your way towards ownership, and it might feel like you own it, but let's just be frank. When you have paid off your mortgage and they sign that deed and they send that thing in the mail, and then you look at your deed and you see the property and you see your name on it, that's when you own it. Now, how many guys know someone who has the deed? And how does that feel? How do you think they feel knowing that their name is on the deed? They own the home, the property, the car, whatever, scot-free. It's theirs. My parents own their home. It feels amazing because I have somewhere to go if something happens. Absolutely. Absolutely. So then will your heart be glad? You'll be happy. You'll be happy because you will own in your own right a valuable property. And the only cost will be the king's taxes. And also, your good wife. She'll go more often to the river to wash the robes, that each time returning, she may bring a goatskin of water to pour upon the growing things. Thus come many blessings to the man who owns his own home. And greatly will it reduce his cost of living, making available more of his earnings for pleasures and gratification of his desires. This then is the fifth cure for a lean purse. Own your own home. Now, notice this. You go from maybe renting to buying. When you complete the buying process, now you have your biggest expense for most people living on the earth. Your biggest bill is no longer a bill. I just want you to imagine for a second. Matter of fact, for everybody that's in that process right now, you might not own your home, but you're in the process of buying your home or buying your property or whatever. I want you to think about for a second, obviously, how it feels when I want you in the comments below. I want you to think about whatever that is, whatever that, because it's the bill and the insurance. I want you to think about that cost, and then in the comments below, I want you to imagine what you would do with said money if you no longer had a mortgage to pay. I want you to think about, well, how much more could I grow this money? What other things could I go and experience in life with this money? How many more of my desires could I gratify with this money if the house was paid? If the house was paid off, your biggest expense you no longer had, now you have most of your paycheck back. That's hard for some people to fathom, to even imagine. Like, man, one day I'm not going to have this $1,000 bill anymore, or $850 bill anymore, or $1,500 bill anymore, whatever it is for you. One day, if I just keep at it, month after month, maybe I even start pouring a little extra, because now I'm super excited about getting this thing paid off. I pour a little extra, I get it done in 15 years versus 30 years. I don't know. But soon enough, I'll no longer have this bill, which is the biggest bill that I pay. How much quicker could you get your other debts paid off if you no longer had the mortgage? Man, look at this. It will greatly reduce your cost of living, making available more of your earnings for pleasures and the gratification of your desires. Is it no wonder that when people get older, that's when they get the Corvette or something like that? Because they no longer have the mortgage to pay. It's no wonder that they begin to take these extravagant vacations, go traveling all around the world, because they got that money that they would have spent back because the mortgage is paid. How many guys you really can see yourself paying off or fully outright owning your own home with your name on the deed? And I ask this question because many people can't see that. Many people think they'll be paying a mortgage for the rest of their life. And if you see that, then that's what it'll be. But if you actually see yourself completing the process, you started something, you finished it. You see your name on the deed. You see this money back into your account that you can use for other stuff. Well, guess what? If you see it, if you can see it, then you can achieve it. If you see it, then you can achieve it. Not only that, it becomes one of your biggest assets, because now you have a property that, I don't know, $400,000, $500,000, $800,000 that you can leverage for other things. So much is available to the man and or woman who owns their own home. Something to think about. So this is step number 5, the fifth cure for a lean person, the fifth cure for a broke bank account. Fifth cure, notice this is number 5. This is after you've disciplined yourself. This is after you have maintained self-control to control your expenses. This is after you've learned how to make your money multiply. Now think about that for a second. You've learned how to make your money multiply. You got $1,000, $1,500, $1,200 back that you don't like to spend towards the mortgage. You've already learned how to make your money multiply. How much faster could you become whatever it is that you want to become as far as your financial goals are concerned? This is also after you've learned how to protect your money or your wealth from unsafe investments. So you don't have money going out unnecessarily to stupid stuff that you used to spend stupid money on. And now you have a profitable investment in your dwelling. And now you own your own home. You see why I continue to recommend this book to all who will listen and actually go get it and read it. Richest Man in Babylon by Mr. George Clason, written back in 1926. 1926. And the wisdom, the principles, the understanding, the simplicity is still relevant today. In the comments below, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today. Something that might have sparked a little insight or thought or for you today. I don't do this just to do this, guys. I do this to make a difference, and hopefully we made a difference in your life today. Hopefully you're taking something away from the time that you spent with us here today with free financial education that you can use to make a difference in your life. I'm simply asking you this question and answer in the comments below. Was this worth your time? Whether you've been with us for an hour or 15 minutes, doesn't matter. My job is to make sure that you get way more value than that what you spent with us, and hopefully we've done a good job of that today. We mentioned to you guys, a couple different places that have, helped to make this show a possibility. We do have the Black Billionaires Club. Shout out to the BBC, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and our business partners. We featured another Black-owned business today in Shahidville that you guys can do business with to buy Black, shop Black, and all that stuff as well. I want to shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson for the book that he's written, to George Clason, although he's no longer here, for the book he's written. Give us great literature that we can lean on to help us understand money and power better. To help us understand money and power better. All right? Stars that how about save? And now more than half or more when you purchase a home, it pays yourself. You're home off in a decade, 10 years as opposed to 20. Absolutely. Yeah, let's learn how to multiply. I know, dog, I'm blowing my mind. I know we're going to continue along with that. But tonight, guys, in the BBC, we will have Welcome to Wall Street. We'll be talking about our portfolios a little bit, in Investment Club as well. So those that's there will be a meeting at 8 p.m. tonight. I'll be coming in right after I have another meeting at 7, so I look forward to that. This is the Money and Power Show, brought to you by the New Black Wall Street. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, and I want you guys to remember this. That takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, it's time to get up, to get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.